edition to Sit Down at Uptown, man. To Sit Down at Uptown, you know, we chop it up with all the comedians who come rock Uptown Comedy Corner. I'm your host and owner of Uptown Comedy Corner, Angelo Ouzts. And tonight, man, we got one of our favorites in the building, man. Traveling all around the world doing this comedy thing. Mr. Leonard Ouzts is in the building, man. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. Feel good here. I'm one of the favorites. I appreciate that, man. That made me happy. I ain't gonna lie to you, Angelo. What's going on, man?
Everything's good, man. It's been a while, man. It's been
a minute.
It's the first time at the new location, man. What you think?
I'm not gonna lie. I was talking to Spence about it yesterday. I'm like, I like this podcast setup. It's the spacious. The room look like I like the little. A lot of people don't like when they feel like the audience is broken up, kinda. Mm-hmm. But I like how y'all got like the little section over here with the y'all got the little Frank Lucas seats. You know what I mean? The little VIP section. I'm like, yeah, I like this. It feel like home. It feel good. This is feel good.
That's what's up, man.
Shout out to Daryl Dam too. Shout out my dog hosting, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, man, we appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. Rocking Uptown Comedy Corner again. So, Leonard, I don't know if you're familiar with the Sit Down Uptown, man, but you know, we like to take trips backwards, man. When I start these interviews off, man, and I like to take trips way back.
Let's do it.
Let's go back to the young man, to the kid, man. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and what life was like for you as a child.
I'm a military brat. Grew up overseas a little bit, 3 years in Japan. I don't know. I grew up, I was always funny. I grew up in Virginia, played sports, but always was just funny playing sports. And I was very self-aware.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I played football for one of the best teams in the country in high school. I shout out Austin Smith High School. My coach actually coach out here at Marietta now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he left our school. He left our school with like 2-3 state championships. Then came down here. I think they got like 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, very self-aware. Yeah, very self because I knew I wasn't going to be no 6'3" lineman. So I figured I need to start working on some of this other shit I'm good at, like being smart and making jokes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just always I'm always about having fun and you know, seeing the other side of things sometimes. I feel like that's where most good comedy comes from is, you know, we think one thing, but it's always another perspective on things.
Okay. So when you say having fun, but the same token, you grew up in a military family, your father was military.
Yeah, father was retired lieutenant commander, did 28 years. He actually teaches ROTC now. Yeah, so I mean,
So were you allowed to have fun with someone that was such a ranking position in the family? How was that?
The crazy thing is, yeah, because
Okay.
I wasn't. Once again, I wasn't. I don't have that story where it's like, oh, you know, somebody had to come stop me from, you know, selling weed or doing. That's just not who I was. Mm-hmm. So like, fun for me, like, you know, your grade's good, you can go to a party.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you play football. You know what I mean? A lot of where I'm from, everybody's kind of from the same thing. And if you're not a military kid where I'm from, you see the benefits of having your stuff together, because your parents might not have been in the military, or you know, you might be watching your parents struggle, or you know, because it's hard.
Okay.
So then you see how it is to have some structure to you. So it's like everybody, even the hood is the worst acting motherfucker, still had something behind him that he was working on.
Yeah.
So fun for me was growing up, me and my friends party. You know, I didn't start smoking weed till I got kicked off the football team. You know what I mean?
Okay.
By then it was my senior year. So it was like, you know, I'd already had all the credits and everything. So it was like, I was kind of ahead of the curve, but also always cognizant of, like, let me enjoy the moment too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you look back now, are you appreciative of the fact that you had a military father, you grew up in that kind of environment, this structured thing? Does it, when you look back now,
Very, very. I tell people all the time, even something as simple as smoking weed, and I know that a lot of people, you know, some people grew up smoking weed since they was 8 and talk all that. When I tell you, if I had started smoking younger than I did, I don't know if I'd have graduated high school. Now that I'm grown, now that I'm sitting here telling you, I stopped smoking totally about a month ago. When I tell you, it's like it's more time in the day. I actually find myself doing things that I'm supposed to be doing on the regular, and I'm like, yeah, if I'd have been a freshman smoking weed, ain't no way I'm going to class. It just. think about what the weed does to you. It slows you down. It makes you want to go get something to eat, go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like, ain't no way I'm going to third period. What? I'm not gonna make it through the. When last time you smoked a good blunt and it made it through the whole day doing stuff? The whole day, man. So yeah, I definitely appreciate it.
So why is it that gets me off of the real conversation? But why is it that? And I'm gonna be honest. I've never smoked weed. All right, I know I'm a unicorn. I've never smoked weed.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always I hear from the people who say it helps them do this, helps them do that. But then in the same token, I hear that part of it. So how is it effective if it's?
Well, the reason why you'll hear most comedians or rappers talk about smoking and doing it the way they do it, because it doesn't. And for the most part, a rapper, I can go to sleep. I can go to the if this a recording studio, I can go to the studio for 12 hours. 8 of them hours I was asleep. Think about it. When you hear rappers say, "Man, I was in the studio all day."
Right.
You only rapped 16 bars.
Right.
That was 20 minutes worth of rapping, but you rented the motherfucker out all day.
Yeah.
So as a comedian, it's like, yeah, I can smoke all day, wake up, write something funny down, go play the game, right? Come back, look at the funny idea, put something else with it. It ain't inhibiting me from doing nothing. But if you pay attention to people with real jobs, like even when they show them on movies, like or TV shows, like I'm watching this show Reasonable Doubt. It's a lawyer show.
Mm-hmm. She
don't smoke till the kids been fed, ate. She done went over her course stuff, and now she's smoking one little joint and finna go to bed. And that's another thing. I've been having dreams again.
He said I've been having dreams again.
If you talk to people that smoke weed, ask somebody that smoked weed the last time they had a dream.
Really?
I'm telling you, it just puts you to sleep. You don't. This is the first time I've had conscious dreams where I'm waking up like, was Damon Wayans just offering me a job in my dream? Like, what the? It's crazy.
That is hilarious.
You never smoke weed?
I never smoked weed, bro. I grew up military. I was military brat as well, and then did military myself.
Oh yeah, so by the time you do all that.
Yeah, I just never, and I was an officer, so I just never got into it, man. So.
Because black men with the cigar, that's usually out there and graduated from weed to black and mild.
Yeah.
So he just went straight to.
This is it for me.
I feel it. I feel he ain't go through none of the ranks.
I did not.
He ain't smoke no mid. He ain't go from mid and swishers to games. He went straight to okay.
Yeah, straight to the cigar. So, what kind of a student were you, man? Were you a good student?
I was me.
Okay.
I was I was very smart, very smart. I just always I hate to say it because it sounds so cliche. I just always was funny, and I understood funny.
Okay.
That's a lot of people are funny and don't understand, but I understood what would be funny. I understood timing. I understood, you know what I mean. So I could. If you go ask any of my teachers, they used to write me up or anything. They'll tell you like, oh, I never wrote them up because I was mad at them. I never wrote them up. I was never mad. It was just like I just had to tell him to wait.
Right.
Let me get done teaching, and then we can have fun.
Right.
I don't know. Some people I just feel like I was put here to do this.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. That's deep. That's good stuff there. So when you look at from a school system standpoint, did you enjoy the moments of schooling? Did you enjoy your time there? And then where did you go? You play sports though.
Yeah, I played football in high school.
Sports was your outlet.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't no starter. I wasn't, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I ain't gonna say it was my outlet. No, I mean, it was, I had friends that played football. When I got to high school, it wasn't. There was no real theater program or nothing like that for me to get into.
Okay.
So it was like, hey, you big and black and you ain't doing nothing. You better go hit something. You gotta have some type of. I mean, it's also about having some type of weight around your peers. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't want to just be another student.
Gotcha.
You feel me? Like, yeah, I'm the motherfucking funny dude that played football. So I appreciate it I appreciate school. It teaches you how to be a person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It teaches you how to move around in society because before school, ain't no other teacher. Ain't no other teacher on how to maneuver friendship, and your parents can teach you things, but until you actually go out there and have to deal with, oh shit, what am I gonna do? your mama tell you, oh, you don't jump in nobody else's fight, but now your friend, somebody just took his lunch money, he ain't gonna be able to eat today. What do you do? Do you just let your mans go and be hungry, or do you help him get his shit back, or do you give him half your shit?
Right.
We gonna have to fight because nigga, I need all mine. All mine don't be enough. So I know half of all mine ain't gonna. We gonna have to go get on, cuz. So.
Gotcha. So did you ever consider following in your father's footsteps at all?
Nah, hell no.
No.
Hell, but I used to listen to my daddy get up 4:45 in the morning, walking out the house to go to work, and hell no. No. Not once. Not once did I ever think that I wanted to go join somebody military. Nah.
No deal,
Well, I hated two-a-days. I loved playing football. I hated how that was so, like, you know what I mean? Staying straight, do this. You know, I appreciated it because, you know, like I tell people all the time, shout out to Coach Richard Morgan at Marietta High School. You know, outside of my father, the men that helped us, that taught us how to play football, that they put so much, you know, you spend a lot of time, your developmental years there too.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, my dad taught me how to be a man, but they definitely had something to do with that too.
Sure.
Where we were just talking about the standard is the standard.
Sure.
So, you know, it's a thing where you appreciate, you know you appreciate it because you're just doing the thing to get to the thing. I want to play football, so this is what I got to do the bullshit to get there.
Right.
But it's like now that I look back on certain things, even certain ways I move with comedy, it's because of this coach that I had. Where it's like, people used to try to get mad at us because my sophomore year, we were so good. Most people say, I played varsity my freshman year. I ain't played varsity my freshman year. I didn't dress out for varsity until my sophomore year, halfway through the season, where I still played JV, but just I was on the sideline.
Right.
For, you know what I mean, for varsity, because that's what that's what they do. It's a system.
That's right.
That's how good the players were. Like, so they just put the reason why I moved the way I do with comedy is because we used to be beating teams like 53-3. It'd be like, I'm telling you, I was on JV dressing varsity first half of the state year we won state championship. They had our T-shirt with all the scores on the back. It was only 2 teams that scored over 10 points.
Wow.
And we're in the 50s and 60s every game. I can pull it up for you after we get done. I'm talking about, I told you our quarterback went to Alabama. 2 players went to play at UVA. We had a receiver go to Maryland. One went to Marshall. We had D tackle go to Penn State. We was like Tidewater area.
Yeah.
That where I'm from, you go to a 7-on-7 game and you see Clemson, you see USC, you see these people. Yeah. I met Nick Saban. Why have I met Nick Saban? That's how good our players were.
Yeah.
So one thing our coach used to do was run the score up, but he wasn't running it up with the starters. I'm talking about, I know people that didn't start that had more yards and more touchdowns than starters on other teams.
Wow.
Because coaches like, well, if I've been on y'all ass since the summer. Y'all been running just like the starter was.
That's right.
You've been practicing just like the starter was. So because these other teams can't keep up with us, I'm supposed to punish y'all and just take knees? That's unfair. I know people that didn't start, they got scholarships. Because it's like, oh, he got enough footage. The first motherfucker went to USC. We know we can't get him. But Norfolk State, they can take this motherfucker right here that's just as good.
That's right.
So it's like, when it comes to comedy, I look at it where it's like, you know, the standard is the standard. Like, it's about understanding. And first, it's about understanding that you can't hold everybody to the same level that you hold the same accountability.
Okay.
Like for me, I feel accountable for. I want to be original. I want to say things, and I understand I can't be. Everybody didn't talk about everything, so I'm not talking about so much about the premise, but the joke, the thing that, because we all, like I said, you're a military brat, I'm military brat. But if you wrote a joke about it and I wrote a joke about it, it should be different because you was a military brat somewhere else. There's no way it should be the exact or the same feeling or the same. It should feel different
and just relatable.
It just should be relatable, but it should be different.
Facts.
And I feel like it's a lot of when we talk about social media and we talk about, and this is not a shot at nobody in social media because once I love 90% of the motherfuckers that do social media comedy. And then the motherfuckers that do social media comedy, they come up and do stand-up, I love like 25% of them. Because sometimes you be like, oh, you just got on doing that, but this is what you do. Mm-hmm. Ryan Davis, that's my boy. Like, yeah, Ryan was a comic before he blew up on social media.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
DC when DC might have blew up because of TikTok and not TikTok but Vine and all that. But when I used to come down here when I was 18, 19, that's when I met the DC was doing open mics.
Yeah.
So it's like you know what I mean? It's like you see the work ethic and you see the growth.
There's a difference.
There's a difference between somebody that just goes viral and then now all of a sudden you see a ticket link in their bio. It's like how many think about it, you a club owner, how many people you done booked, they done came through and then you'll never see them again. They came through and sold out though. Chicken wings was gone. you made a pretty penny with them, but you can't book them again because the people they didn't leave happy.
That's correct.
That be how it be.
That's the majority.
I'm telling you.
That's facts.
And then when I say something or anybody says anything, it's you hating. I've never said nothing about nobody making no money. Go make your money.
Sure.
But when you disrespecting the art that I love, I feel like I have the right to say something.
Sure.
When you just taking it, because that's what you do. You're taking advantage to a certain extent, because these motherfuckers is grown spending their money. So I ain't gonna say you're taking advantage, but you definitely robbing them folk.
Yeah. When they cross it over from the internet to getting on stage, then that's when you're taking advantage. I agree with you.
Taking it, and then
some of them don't even, if you don't take that art seriously,
don't even try.
It's disrespectful.
It's like you only get on stage when you're getting paid. You're not a comic. And you want me to respect you as one because you might sell tickets and you do, but it's like I can't respect you for.
Yeah.
No, that's like you an assassin, and you hit 17 people with a school bus, nigga. That's not the art of assassinating nobody. Yeah, you killed a lot of people, but you ain't assassinating nobody.
Right. So what did you do immediately after high school?
Right after high school, I went to college. I went to Virginia State University. I joined the performing arts organization while I was there called Panic 2000. The only comedian ever to join. Yeah. I think I was the first. I think they might have somebody that came after me. I'm a trendsetter.
There you go.
I was in school for a year, man. I ain't gonna lie. When I was in college, I was a promoter. I was lit in college. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't like super big, like lit, but I was with this guy Face J. Shout out to Face J. Through all the college parties, phone parties and everything. I used to run the college bus. They had a bus go from campus to the club and back. So I was in charge of that. Hey, shorty, you and your friend come, y'all on the bus. The homies on there, we out.
Right.
But when I wasn't doing that, I wasn't really going to class. When I started doing comedy, the Alphas had a talent show. I went and I killed. I was horrible, but I killed. Like I was, this was my first time ever performing, and I mean really killed. And I was hooked. When people tell you it's a drug, it's such a euphoric. Even still, I still get that feeling where it's like, whoo. So after that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was on my computer studying everybody and literally everybody you probably booked. I was Ronnie Jordan, Chris Jones, Set It Off, Carlos Miller, Benji Brown. I'm talking about all I did was sit at my computer I would sit there for hours watching, especially Ronnie. Because I grew up as a kid watching Ronnie on TV. Okay. And he's, big guy, fly, funny. I'm like, so now it still be eerie to me when I'm like, it's one of my dogs. Yeah. So when I see him, it still be like, nigga, I'm a fan, but it's like, all right, Right. Then I started learning the names of comics that I didn't know their name, but I knew their jokes. Like when I growing up, one of the funniest jokes I ever saw was a comedian talking about how he got a daughter. He was like, the first time you had sex, I'm gonna be there. JJ Williamson. Come on, man. I never knew his name just because I was so young, Laugh-A-Palooza. Yeah. But then when I learned his name, now I'm studying everything JJ. I'm learning what makes them funny. I'm seeing what makes them funny. Gotcha. I'm understanding tags and the rules of three and callbacks and so the year that I was in college, I was really in comedy college. And then I'm the type, I was reaching out to Ronnie. That's why Ronnie, Los, Chris Jones, from day one reaching out. Like, hey, man, I'm a fan, I'm a comic, always reached out, always spoke to me. I remember when they did Uptown Comic. Was that the name of the show? There was a TV show that they shot.
Oh, yeah. I know Uptown. Yeah.
I remember Los was on there. I'm not Los, but Los was on there. But Chris Jones called me the night he was on there. and was just talking to me and my mama like he knew us.
Really?
Now I remember the first time I came down here, stayed at his house. I'm like 19, 20. Stayed at his house. Him, Johanse Collins. I never got bombed. We went somewhere I bombed so bad. and that's why I treat comedy a certain type of way. Because Chris Jones made me feel so bad, but let me know it was okay at the same time.
Gotcha.
We went to Burger King after the show. And nigga said, all right, now Leonard, because of how you bombed it, you don't get no meal. You get one sandwich. Now you don't get no meal. We don't feed the dead. And we laughed about that shit so hard. I taught him to him about it yesterday. But it's like, I feel like we got to get out of right now. Comedy's getting so soft, where we feel like we're so sensitive, where you can't joke about people bombing, and you can't. It's like, I love bombing. I love going up there with an original idea, saying it and not working. That shit, I laugh more when I bomb than when I go kill. Really? Because when you say some shit that don't work, like, damn, I thought. Because then it make me really want to go work harder to try to articulate what I'm trying to get y'all. That's all comedy is I think it's funny, and this is why I think y'all should think it's funny. That's comedy. Comedy is just trying to. You're a salesman. Right. I like this shirt. This is why y'all should wear this shirt. It ain't no different than that. So to go through that process and then see people cheat the process or try to skip the process, or some people. I mean, you own a club. I know you done seen so many of the niggas do the same joke. Sure. They didn't put. Oh, I did this joke in this kind of voice, and I did it like this, and it's like. It's so much for you to talk about. Like, why don't I know you? If I watch you do an hour set and I don't know nothing about you or how you think, at least, that's why I tell people I don't want to tell jokes no more. I know I'm a great joke writer, but I want to be a truth. I want to be a truth teller. Okay. You know what I mean? Which is why, like now, I'm talking about my mom died a few years ago. I'm talking about that, and that'd be some of the hardest stuff to get off because black folk don't like talking about death. Yeah. But guess what? It's gonna happen whether you talk about it or not. That's like acting like you ain't got to pay rent if you don't think about it. You don't got to think about it. But on that first, they come and get their shit. Right. Talking about stuff like that, or even just relationships. Like, I'm 32, single with no kids. Like, nigga, dating is hard because I don't have kids. That women be having so many kids. Bro, they be having so many kids that you expected to treat like, you supposed to raise them like they're yours. I ain't rose mine yet. How I'm going to raise something and I ain't rose nothing? It don't make sense. So it's like just the things that I'm trying to talk about, and, I know I ain't the only one talking about raising somebody else's kids. Right. But it's like the way I talk about it is like I want you to understand why I feel this way. Okay. Not just the easy, I don't want to raise another new kids because that's his kids. Like, nah, anybody can say that. Right. But when I give you a good reason behind it, like, because I don't want nobody to raise my kid. Because if you ain't fat, how you gonna raise a fat kid? How you gonna? You don't know how to do that. So I don't know.
Interesting. No, it's an interesting take you just gave. And like what you said about your mom, for example. I mean, I watched you, and I noticed, and I watched the crowd. They weren't sure how to react initially, but you keep. You know what I mean?
You got to keep going.
You kept going, and you had it, and they were like, "Okay, it's okay to
laugh."
I literally watched the transition of the crowd. That they weren't sure if to be sad or not. When they saw you were going, they were like, "Okay, well."
and it's okay because I'm still sad. I cried a couple nights ago. Yeah. I still go through fits where it's like, damn, the woman that birthed me, this person that took care of me, that literally. They had to be my daddy sometimes because my dad be gone out to sea for 9 months. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She's gone. I can't talk to her about nothing no more. Mm-hmm. So it's like I always tell them, like, I'm not, if you want to be sad, I'll give you about 10 seconds to be sad because it's a sad thing to talk about. Right. But after that, what we going to do? Right. Because we can't be sad for the rest of the show. Mm-hmm. We might well laugh at the shit. Because the joke coming regardless. The joke coming. So either you can sit here and laugh with tears in your eyes, or you can just wipe them up and we can have fun. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good stuff. That's very interesting take you just gave. And you introduced how you started comedy. I was gonna get into that. So you found that bug after the first time on stage. Found that bug, man. After the first time, then dropped out of school, went back home. So a lot of things happened like weirdly that put me ahead of the game. Okay. My dad was stationed in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And so they was mad at me. They put me on a Greyhound bus from Virginia to Mississippi. You know how many motherfucking folders I had full of them fucking transitions? But one thing any comic could tell you, any good comic could tell you, the first time you start telling jokes away from home, you instantly get better.
Okay.
It's a weird where it's like, oh, you don't know these people, they don't know you. It's like so while my daddy mad at me, you know, he's still like, well, you know, if this what you're doing, this what you're doing.
So he got mad at you for doing because what you want to do?
For leaving school.
Okay.
So I found an open mic out there. I went and performed, and that was when my dad was like, oh, okay. Right, he ain't know how to say it, but like, oh, little nigga, you good. You actually okay. So from the energy, I remember the when he seen me really kill, the energy kind of shifted. He still was on some like, you gotta go make money though. You gotta, but it was like okay. I see it.
Okay.
So I tell people all the time, it probably 6 months he was mad, but after that, it was like nothing but nonstop support from him, my mom, my little sister. It really hit them because probably I was in school 2011. 2012 is when I dropped out. 2014, they brought Comic View back. Mm-hmm. No, 2013 is when we filmed it. Remember, I'd only been doing comedy really about a year, and then I ended up booking Comic View. And this is living in Virginia. Ain't that many shows in Virginia. Ain't that many mics. Ain't that many. Right. Shout out Sidney Castillo. He saw me at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone and told the booker, hey, you need to give him an audition. Just see him.
Really?
I'll never forget. Got to New York. We rode the bus. Me and Angus Black rode the bus up to New York.
Angus Black.
Angus Black. You know Angus?
Yeah.
Rode the bus up to New York. Stayed at my cousin Tawana house. We did the showcase. I killed. Angus told me that night, he was like, yeah, you're going to be on. He was like, they're gonna pick you. You're 20, you're funny. Yeah, they're going to pick you. They picked me. I came to Atlanta, shot it at Center Stage. Yep, right there, Georgia Tech campus, right?
Right.
Yeah, I never forget. Samoa was hosting. I was on the episode with Damon Williams and Ron G.
Okay.
That's when I first met them. And my family came, sat front row, dad, grandma, all of them. And it was just like, oh, like that's when it hit me, like, oh, these cameras, this is. I remember the first time the camera came and zoomed past me, I was like, oh, they didn't say it was gonna be all this. And then it was just from there, it was just like, all right. I filmed it, it never came out. I'm working at IHOP at the time, so you 20, showing the I'm about to be on Comic View, motherfuckers looking at it. Oh, okay, you got the email. Then we shoot it a year later, they came out. Nigga like, you were lying. You old egg serving nigga, lying as hell. Never came out. Wow. I think they recently released it on like Amazon Prime. But yeah, it definitely put a fire in my head when it didn't come out. Thank you for not putting that out. Because had it came out, it probably would have gave me enough juice to get booked a little bit more around Virginia. Mm-hmm. But because it didn't, I was still working at IHOP. And I was like, yo, I got to leave. I can't stay here. I hit my ceiling in comedy. I was 20 and I was the funniest up and comer around. There was nobody like, only people funny to me was like Jay Ski, who had just got out of jail. Right. Shout out to Jay Ski. You know Bodacious?
Of course.
Yeah, that's my old head. That's my big bro. Okay. Bodacious, Angus Black. And they're headliners. They've been doing comedy. So it's like, it ain't like I'm the funniest nigga here. It's like, as far as my peers, there's nobody that's around that can, I'm 20. Ain't nobody else 20 doing comedy.
Right.
Then the motherfuckers that's 25, 26 just ain't funny.
Right.
So I got up and moved to New York. I was supposed to have some colleges lined up. Colleges fell through. I never forget. I was sitting in the back of IHOP rolling up the silverware, and I was hurt because the college 3 schools fell through. College back then paying me like $1,500 a piece. I was like, I'm finna move to New York with a little bit of change. I can figure something out. I never forget my manager. She was like, something telling me you needed to go anyway. You need to go anyway. Now, I know it don't seem like it right now, but you need to go anyway. And I did. Moved to New York with $300.
Wow.
And somehow God took care of me. Moved there September 2014. By March 12th, 2015, I was on TV.
Wow.
It's crazy. Me and Willie Lynch Jr., I know y'all got him coming next week.
Yeah.
Me and Willie Lynch moved to New York together. I'm not ashamed to say, me and this man shared a bed. Slept head to foot. Let me put that out there. We slept head to foot.
Clean it up, right?
Slept head to foot in a Dominican woman's apartment. In New York, they had these websites where you could go rent a room. So we had to rent a room in a Dominican. I'm talking about we sneaking in the house at, like, it's dark, it's late, it's 2 a.m. Cause we living in the Bronx, the shows in the city.
Right.
You know, we ain't got no money. We taking trains, and you get home at 3 a.m. We sneaking through, going to the. Lady had bed bugs. I never forget. We had to damn near burn all our shit. They ain't had no money. It was hard. I ain't gonna lie. I tell you, hey, it's hard being broke, but it's hard being fat and broke. I'm trying to tell you, ain't nothing worse than not having no money and you hungry. Ain't nothing worse. Shout out to Willie Lynch Jr.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So how did the TV thing come about?
I was working for this chain of comedy clubs called the Funny Bone.
Okay.
And I opened for this guy named Brett Ernst, Italian guy, very funny Italian guy. And he was like, "You live in New York?" He was like, "You ever heard of Chris Mazzilli? He owns Gotham Comedy Club." And I was like, "Nah." I was like, I'm looking for a manager. I'm trying to get something going. And he was like, "I'm gonna connect y'all too." So he connected us. I sent Chris my video, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I would love, I love from, to see about management that or whatever I can do." He was like, "Okay, well, just give me a second." He was like, "I'm gonna put you in consideration for this show that we shooting, Gotham Comedy Live." So I never forget. It was All Star Weekend in New York, 2014. 2015 All Star Weekend, and I get an email at a show where they're like, "Yeah, we want you to come shoot Gotham Comedy Live." Ralphie May hosted. Shout out, rest in peace, Ralphie May.
Yeah.
And I went, did Gotham Comedy Live. I'm talking about I was sick. Like I was literally like, I ain't had no money for no coat. It's February in New York. Man, it was a snowstorm. Like anybody that was at that All-Star Weekend knows it was freezing. So March 12th got there, I was kind of sick, but when your adrenaline rushing, your endorphins get to releasing, I'm talking about it was one of the best sets. Even now, if you go look that set up, I killed. And they took me downstairs while the show was still going on and was like, "Yeah, we want to manage you."
Wow.
And he told me, shout out Chris Mazzilli, he told me, "I wanted to manage you from the moment I saw that video." But he was like, "I had to see it live."
Okay.
He was like, "I had to see," because, videos, people get, it could be a one, he was like, "Well, seeing you live," he was like, "Yeah, we definitely," and then from there, it was a wrap. It was just, nonstop. I went to Montreal on one audition, which is unheard of, especially for us.
Right.
Especially for us, back when, all our greats then went to Montreal. Kevin Hart, Lil Rel, Ray Gordon, they'll tell you. I auditioned a few times. I'm talking about I went audition, and it wasn't even the first, I went on a callback audition, the first one. And it was just like, it was it. It was like perfect timing. And then from there, just kept, in New York, fighting, knocking shit out, and...
So they the ones to put you in on the TV show. They had
the TV was
go ahead.
I booked a couple different things first. I did Conan, and then Aziz Ansari saw me at the Cellar.
Okay.
And he had the show, Emmy-winning show, Master of None. So I got an audition for that. Killed that. I got 3 episodes on season 2. Then I booked a movie on Netflix. It was like I can act, so motherfuckers was starting to like, oh, he can do more than just comedy too. Like I could do drama. I could do. There's actually a couple shows on right now that I was like, nigga, they was like put a pin in them, and then they went and got somebody from overseas that really act. That be the thing. Like I can act, but then you see these motherfuckers that book stuff that you didn't get. You like, oh, I didn't even read this like that. Like he must have held his script upside down when he read it because I didn't read like this.
Wow.
So yeah. So then I ended up getting on the sitcom.
Yeah.
Just because I was out there for pilot season. No, actually we were shooting Terrence J show, Safe Word. And I just happened to be out there, and it happened to be pilot season. And I went on an audition. They were like, we loved you. You were great. I was like, okay, cool. They were like, you mind staying in a couple more days? And so I hit Sydney up. Sydney's still living out there. And Sydney let me stay on his couch. And I found out I booked that show at Sydney house.
Oh, wow.
I woke up. They called me, was like, yeah, so you booked the show. You're going to make this amount of money. I woke up screaming. Yeah. Sydney came out of the room like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, I didn't. So yeah, the sitcom was cool. I learned a lot.
Okay.
I learned a lot. Shout out to Natalie Morales, Nelson Franklin. What's my man's name? You ever watch Scrubs?
Yeah.
He was the janitor on Scrubs.
Okay.
A thespian, one of the best actors I've ever seen before. I can't think of his name right now. Neil Flynn.
Wow.
Yeah. I had so much Kimia Bapornia. I forgot how you say her last name. But yeah, shout out to the whole cast, man. They were great.
That's dope.
It was fun.
That's dope. So, how was it when your father, for example, and your family got to see you on a TV show, going from
from that to that? It was. I think people. It was crazy. Only thing that I wish, my mom was teaching at the time, and when we were shooting, it was the beginning of the school year. We shot from September to the end of November or the end of October, so they couldn't just leave their job and come. That's the only thing I regret, is that my mama didn't get to come see me shoot the show, but she got to see it on TV. She got to see me in a sitcom, walk out, motherfuckers clapping. You know what I mean? So
that's dope.
Yeah, it was great. I can't lie.
That's dope. So you've done a lot. You still have a lot you want to do. Tell me what's on Leonard's to-do list.
I got some shows. I got a deal right now for a show. Me and Vincent Bryant. Shout out to Vince Bryant. We got a show in development right now. I got like 2-3 other ideas that I'm developing. I done sold a couple shows that didn't go. You know, I'm trying to get one of them to go, man. All you need is one.
That's it.
All you need is one. So I'm trying to get some of these pure ideas. Like I said, the military. I got a military show idea. I got a show about working at IHOP that I'm trying to get out there, called Shift Change. You know, because I used to work graveyard, so it's like don't nobody show how I look between dinner and graveyard. When you that shift change be a difference.
Yeah.
When you go from 8 servers on the floor to 2.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I mean, I'm into developing, man. I'm into creating my own now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really what I'm into. Trying to get my shit off.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So Len, I always like to end on a top 5.
Okay.
Right? So give me your top 5 videos of all time.
Music videos?
Music videos.
Oh, music videos. Ooh, okay. That's an interesting top 5 right there. Let's go. Missy Elliott definitely got to go any of her videos in there. So let's just say the one she had the aluminum foil on. You got to go Missy on that.
Is it me or Superfly?
Yeah, Superfly. Nelly. What's the one with all the ass everywhere?
Oh man, at the mansion.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, when she's shaking it, he like this.
Yeah, I know that. I know that was what you're talking about. That's a good one right there.
That was that one. Damn. Top 5 music videos. Jay-Z. What's the one with him and Pharrell had one? What's the name of the song? Oh, you could go Jay-Z Girls. All right, girls. That video with all the boy.
Yeah.
Anything with women by the pool.
Yeah. Can't go wrong, right?
You can't go wrong with that. I'm trying to figure. Did Jeezy have any good videos that I remember? I just like Jeezy as a rapper. Jeezy.
Okay.
Tip had some good videos. Tip and Thug, that was. But I think I just like that video just because the song. I count 6 shots.
Right.
And then, shit, you gotta go R&B. Mr. Biggs and R. Kelly. What the hell is going on?
Good one.
Yeah, that was real acting.
Seats in my home.
Please let me explain.
Yeah. We had to go pull out that cane, huh?
Man.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Yeah, that was one of the ones.
All right. We can rock with that. Hey, Leonard, man, I just want to tell you, man, it's been a pleasure to have you, man. Pleasure to have you on the sit down at Uptown, man. Learn more about you. You know what I mean? Get some more in depth about what Mr. Leonard got going on, man. We want to continue success, man, as you continue to grow in this industry, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, my brother. There it is, man. Another edition to Sit Down at Uptown, my man, Leonard Ouzts. And it's from VA. How about that? There it is. And we out.